All right, I'm Dino Camacho, and I live in New York all my life.
All right, Dino. I hear you've been a victim of police brutality. Can you tell me to the best of your abilities what happened to you?
Well, this goes back a ways when I was in my early 20s, and at that time I was coming from a demonstration in City College. And during that demonstration, construction workers who were on top of a building being constructed started dropping things onto students, which I was part of that demonstrating group. And the police basically condoned that act by the construction workers when in actuality they started the throwing, and then when the students started to throw back, they came and attacked the students. This was back in the 1970s, so my mind is kind of like not too clear of all the details. On my way home, in the subway, I came out of the turnstile and remembered that I needed to make a phone call. I went back through the turnstile thinking that, hey, the token, which used to be tokens at that time, the toll booth clerk saw me, and I wouldn't have to explain myself to her, I believe it was, or him in any case. And when proceeded to the phone booth. At that time, then I was approached by what they used to call transit police back then, and I basically had explained myself to him to say that, you know, what's the big deal? I just came out, I just needed to go back in to use a phone, and I must have looked angry, responded angrily, which he didn't take kindly to, and proceeded then to give me a summons for a fare beating. Then at that, I began to, you know, lash out, respond angrily, because like I said, I was coming from a demonstration, and young, being at that I started to basically run down some things off the top of my head about him being part of, you know, the problem in this country and this and that. And with that said and done, he slapped me across the face and then arrested me for resisting arrest and disorderly conduct. I was then taken down to central booking back in the which was in the Bronx, and released with a desk appearance ticket. At that time, during the summons to see the judge, I had a court-appointed lawyer who said that arresting police officer was not there, and so that it looks like, you know, they just dismiss it, which was dismissed by the judge. Just to backtrack, during the arrest, they called the regular city police, surface police, to transport me to central booking, and apparently it was like common knowledge that that particular cop always did that. You know, that abusive behavior and arresting people for no good reason, because those were the words of the two cops in the car with me, taking me to central booking, that, oh, him, and they laugh it off like, you know, it's common, you know, that he always does this. Kind of reassuring me that, you know, nothing's going to come about it, that I'll be released, blah, blah, blah. In any case, I'm 53, going on to 54 now, 54 years of age, and still, to this day, if I apply to a particular job which requires fingerprinting, that arrest comes up. In other words, my testimony here today is to speak against this outright police brutality, which everyone is apparently, even other cops, are okay with, for no just cause to slap people around and then put this mark in their life, which I've had to explain more than once, more than twice, I believe, even 3 times, and still just recently being fingerprinted to work for a non-for-profit agency. This arrest comes up. And so the judicial system in its entirety is criminal. It's criminal towards especially young people who have their whole lives ahead of them, and have to deal with not only crooked, brutal cops, but even the justice system, which taints your life forever over nonsense. All because I spoke my mind to a cop who couldn't keep his hands off of people.